Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Network Special, the podcast where we talk about stuff that was played on TV that was probably only going to be played once. Now, thanks to the internet, it can get dredged up again and again and again, regardless of quality. My name's Zachariah.
And I'm Nathan.
You're Nathan.
Ben-Hur, the film some say sank the movie career of those world-renowned recording artists AC, Bebop, Stretch, and Red. The California Raisins.
Today we're going to be talking about two specials. But are there half an hour each? A real twofer. And they are based, as many things were in the 80s for children, it's based on a commercial.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the California Raisin specials.
Love them.
You love them?
No, okay. I hated them. Them. Spoiler alert. I hated them.
What had you seen these before we agreed to watch them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I did. I recognize some of the clips, and I recognize the characters most of all. But I couldn't run them down the plot of the show.
I had never seen them.
I mostly remember the raisins from the actual commercials, but I know that I've seen at least clips of these because I recognize the carrot narrator and all that kind of stuff.
The narrator?
Yeah, nice.
That's such an easy joke. They didn't even go for that.
the level of jokes is what? Explain it.
Have you ever heard a food pun before?
No, let's hear one.
I like you very much.
That is it. You nailed it. That's every freaking joke in the entire show. They set up these convoluted claymation scenarios that would have taken probably 10 days to animate so they can say, thank you very much.
You're not wrong, because what stands out, let's get into talking about what these dumb things are. Can you tell I hated these too? Just watching these sullenly in my living room by myself.
I mean, you knew the California Raisins. I mean, from your childhood.
Yes. I saw the commercials for, what was it? Sunmaid. Yeah. For the California Raisin Advisory Board. Mm-hmm. Raisins, in the late 80s, raisins were in trouble. All people wanted to do was dance the Bartman and eat Crunch Bars. And the big raisin said, we have a problem. And if you look on Wikipedia, Seth Werner, at the time with the advertising firm Foot, Cone, and Belding, he said they came up with an idea for the new raisin commercial saying, we've tried everything but dancing raisins, singing I heard it through the grapevine. And is a fake story.
Yeah, that is the lie. The lie is a lie of all lies.
There's no way somebody in a boardroom said that, and then a little light bulb went off over everyone's head.
A little claymation light bulb.
Claymation. So they hired the Will Vinton Studios, and Will Vinton is not the inventor of stop animation, but in the 80s, he made literally thousands of clay animated commercials. He made the Noid for Domino's, other stuff, I'm sure. I mean, later in life, he headed up the Talking M&M commercials. So even when he moved to computer animation, he was killing it with these characters.
Nice. And then he did a ton of TV specials, which we will do on this podcast.
Yeah, better TV specials than this.
Yes, for sure.
Because most of those specials are pretty funny. Like I remember them being pretty funny. As a snooty child, I liked them. Mm-hmm. These specials kind of have the odd quality of this, as you said, labor-intensive art form and a script that feels like it took maybe 10 minutes to throw together.
Yeah, because they had to spend all their time animating.
Yeah. Another unique thing about Will Vinton animation, besides being clay stop animation, is it's pretty grotesque.
It falls on the more going for realistic side It's like it's basically like a Coney Island caricature sketch come to life.
More so than like like a Bugs Bunny, like extra cartoony. Yeah. Or a less disgusting spitting image puppet.
Oh,
spitting image where all the puppets was from the Genesis Land of Confusion video, where it just looks like they took rotting meat and sculpted it into Mick Jagger. Like, these puppets look like they're made to hurt feelings.
They're gross. And I was trying to think of other claymation, like he's our, Aardman Animation from England, the Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
They're the British version of Will Vinton. And their characters are so much more soft and
very cute.
Yeah, and these are just nightmarish.
Yeah, they're real like gargoyle style creatures.
It looks like everyone's wearing a costume. Like it's like they've got a bunch of humans inside these fruit costumes.
That's a good way. The first one especially. I think the first one goes a lot harder in the caricature direction.
Yeah.
And the first special, which is called, hold on while I look up the name of this very memorable special.
Meet the Raisins.
The Raisins. Yeah. MEET. The one food pun they didn't go for.
Everything in this is either a vegetable or a carrot, right? I mean, I'm sorry, a vegetable or a fruit, right? And there were a lot of carrots.
Yes.
There weren't any other, like there is one scene where they're eating meatballs. And those are just real meatballs, but
they're not talking.
No, the meatballs are dead, and they're being eaten. So everything is a fruit or a veggie. The one thing I couldn't figure out is like every fruit is the body. Like the raisin is the body, and then the arms come out, or the grapefruit is the body, or the carrot. But every once in a while, they would make just a normal body, and they would have an apple head.
Right. There's a carrot narrator that's kind of this British historian character that's threading the story of the Raisins' cradle to present day. That's a human body, but a carrot head stuck on the body.
Yeah, that's weird. So there was a carrot, there was a tomato, and an apple were the ones I noticed. But everything else, the fruit was the body.
What was another fruit was the body? Oh, the grapefruit.
Yeah, the grapefruit, everything looked like either a carrot, a raisin, or, unless you could very specific, like there was a cherry that was the body.
No, those cherries had, I'm thinking of the tomatoes. Never mind.
There was a sexy cherry later on in the thing.
There were two sexy tomatoes.
Yeah, that's true.
A little something for daddy.
There's also, so the show is, in the Meet the Raisins, it's like the story of their rise to fame, and then also there's commercial parodies and song parodies and movie parodies and
there's no song parodies. The songs are
the songs
straightforward.
That's right, yeah.
As they perform very on the nose tasks to reflect the lyrics of the song.
Yeah, and based on the style of music, which is like doo-wop and Motown, we can kind of get the feeling that the Raisins are for black characters.
Right, because and we didn't even set this up because I think we think it's so ubiquitous. In this commercial, the California Raisins are dancing around on a table singing "Heard It Through the Grapevine," and they are kicking bad for you snacks off the table. Mm-hmm. And a couple in love is eating a box of raisins while watching a movie.
Eating them.
Yeah. They love it.
Yeah.
And America went ballistic over this commercial. They had never seen anything like it. They made a bunch of other ones, including one where Michael Jackson was on the couch and a Michael Jackson raisin starts dancing around.
That's right.
Yes, these are all played by the actual singers of the Raisins, who are four black gentlemen who are, I don't think they're like a group, but they're all individual session artists. And you can tell because they are not great actors. But there's a certain charm to that, I guess, like their very realistic delivery.
They nail the puns.
Sure.
every time a raisin talks, he's usually sarcastically responding to something.
I more kind of meant like in most cartoons, there's a lot of like pep behind the voices.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, these are really low key.
These are real low key.
These are in between recording sessions.
Almost as though they handed these 67-year-old men pages with lines on them and said, just say these out loud.
Yeah. Someone will walk by and record them. There's one where they do a parody of a soap opera show. And what I've realized is they have done the same thing that every single joke of a soap opera is. There's nothing funny about the actual content of the actors or sketches. You're just waiting to see what pun they use for The Young and the Restless.
Right.
Every single soap opera joke is based on that. Yeah. So you're sitting there waiting, and then theirs was The Young and the Seedless.
Yeah. Cut to me rolling around on my floor holding my sides.
Oh my gosh. ROFL. There was one joke I did really like, I thought. It's where it's the part of the story where they're singing on the street. The old classic story of the R&B group. They get their start by singing on the street, and they're just singing like scat and bebop words, and they say they were so poor they couldn't afford words.
Yeah,
and I did enjoy that joke.
I think that's a Richard Pryor joke for some reason.
I'm sure it's just another freaking thing. It's like everything else.
Okay, there was one thing that I thought was funny. It didn't make me laugh out loud, but I did think it was funny. When the raisins first start out, there's 3 raisins and a enormous grapefruit with a small face.
Yes.
In the middle of the grapefruit. And he winds up being cut from the group, and the narrator says, by far the best looking member of the group, whatever his name was cut. And it's just this guy who looks like a moon.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's not really that much to this. Like it's just like you can go online on the Wikipedia and you can see there's a soundtrack listing. There's basically like 12 songs, and they just sing. It's like almost like a TV show version of a record. You're just hearing the songs, and then each little thing is just like you said, it's like the literal version of whatever they're saying is being animated.
Yeah, and even though this starts off like a rockumentary where you think you're going to see this behind the band style parody, that kind of gets jettisoned quickly.
Yeah,
and it more just turns into, you know, it's somebody climbing up a mountain and they're singing "I've really got a hold on you" or something, and the guy lets go of the ropes. It's like that level of interminable music video jokes.
It is brutal. I mean, the best part about it is that these songs are not changed or anything. They're just good songs. It's still like all the classic songs, you know.
They are sung well. The instrumentation's good.
Yeah.
It's not just like a keyboard or something.
Right.
Yeah, I after watching this and getting onto the recording, I was really just like, I don't know what to say about this, because there's just no real meat on the bone here.
Well, maybe we should move on to its sequel.
That Hepcats was the Ed Succotash Show, where the California Raisins made their accidental debut. The big question we're asking here on American Fruit Stand is, whatever happened to them?
Yeah, so cut to 1990. When did this come out? The first one?
First one, 1989.
Okay, so
next one, 1990.
Yeah,
wasting no time.
They was a rap, and someone said, "Don't go home yet."
We still have all the raisins, right?
Yeah. And so the second
don't mush them, don't turn them into snakes.
Yeah. So this next one it's called The Raisins Sell Out.
The Raisins Sold Out.
Sold Out, that's right. And
we're not quite into the cynical mid-90s yet.
Right. And so in this one, it's about how they try to get a new manager because they're kind of on the lower end of their career, and then this new manager tries to change their sound, so they can make more money. This one again, it's just in this one at least they had original songs, right?
Yes.
And country rap.
Yep.
I mean,
Nathan, it's been 15 minutes. I do not remember this dumb special. Also, this has a kind of a trope that even bothered me as a kid, where the Raisins are on tour, but their manager, Rutabaga, who is a nice guy, a real mensch, as you might be led to say by watching this personification, he's doing a bad job. Like, he's not a good manager. He's getting them shows, but in like dunk tanks.
They're like, it's the fair. We got you a show at the fair.
Yeah, a park where nobody is.
An 87-year high school reunion.
Right. And he records a demo with them, but he records it with two people who don't know what they're doing, and he only makes one record, like one physical record.
It's recorded in a garage.
Yeah. So funny. I don't understand why that was supposed to be funny, that they were recording it in an auto garage.
Well, especially since the guys who were talking, like at first you're like, oh, we're recording this oil tank. And then the guy, like, they cut to an actual studio, and the guy's talking in like real like audio lingo. I'm like, these guys are pros. This is just a quaint studio.
I thought that's what it was going to be, is that, oh, this looks like nothing, but they're really brilliant. No, they're just like, they have all this equipment, but they're also bad at their jobs. It's a very confusing twist. And so then a lima bean, who is, watch out scenery, because there's going to be teeth marks on every bit of you. This voice actor who did the lima bean is going to town. All new voice actors for the Raisins as well.
Yeah.
3 white guys and a black guy this time.
Right.
Including legend Jim Cummings is one of them.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I thought that some of them, one of them was from the original, but he's doing a different voice or something.
Really?
I was looking through IMDb and it was confusing. Like there's someone named Kareem and he was like in both or something.
No, Kareem's only in the first one.
Okay. One of the guys was in a porno from the original.
Was it Stretch?
And I think so. And the name, the name of the porn was called Tongue. Was
this like a quote legit movie, but had a lot of real like sex scenes in it, or was this just straight adult video store porn?
I have not seen it.
Oh, okay. Well, I know what our next episode is going to be.
David Downing, the name he played the character of Red, and he plays in this movie Tongue. Penthouse cover girl stars Bridget Mayer, pornographic blaxploitation. Quasi, a black man with a 9-inch tongue.
Hold on.
Lives alone with a pet frog.
Well, I'm sold.
And he plays Dr. Woodcock, though he was credited as Dudley Dare.
It's not David Downing, because if you click on David Downing's picture, he is the opposite of everything that you would say about that character.
So I think this is a different David Downing, maybe?
I think David Downing plays the carrot narrator, as he is a British man who is a kind of a bookish-looking fellow.
Well, according to IMDb, he plays Red. The voice of Red.
Okay.
And I think IMDb knows a little bit more about it than you do.
The infallible IMDb. Well, we'll have to watch Tongue and find out.
But yeah, this I fell asleep.
Did you really?
I fell asleep. I had to rewind the last 5 minutes. Ugh. There was no need for a follow-up to this.
This also, I will say the first one, I almost prefer the first one because it's not good, but it's the tone isn't like anything else I could really place. It's one of those children's movies for nobody where I don't know why a kid would be into it besides it's animated.
And at least there's good music.
And there's good music. This number one does something that drives me crazy with children's entertainment whenever they decide the most fascinating story they could tell is about business machinations and contract negotiations. Something no child has any experience or interest in, but it is in so many kids' movies, and I do not know why.
Yeah, that is the classic struggle that kids deal with at school.
Who has the most stock in the company?
We are forgetting to mention who, I think he's also in the first one, the one of the villains besides
Lick Broccoli. Lick Broccoli. If you like screaming, just screaming nonstop in a bad British accent, you're going to go to pieces over Lick Broccoli. I thought it was supposed to be Mick Jagger, but I think it's supposed to be like a Billy Idol kind of character.
Right, but so what is Lick? Why?
Well, that's why I thought it was supposed to be Mick Jagger.
Right, so it would be Mick.
And he has
Broccoli?
big lips. Oh, yeah, it doesn't work. But I thought that's what it's... In the first one, he just comes out and he's British. And he has a big mouth. I was like, okay, I guess it's Mick Jagger. But in the next one, he's dumb and British and like a punk, basically. The villain of every late 80s, early 90s cartoon. Punks.
Yeah, it says punk rock broccoli, Lick Broccoli, and the herbicides. Now, he's also in, which we forgot to mention, there is also a 13-episode TV show based on the Raisins.
Was he in that? It was a Cell Animations show, though.
Yeah, he was in that.
Okay.
But Will Vinton did have a say over that.
Wasn't it like one season? It did not do well.
13 episodes done.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in both of them. Lima Bean and Lick plant a bug in the Raisins mansion to steal their newest song, Baby Love.
Ew.
Voiced by Brian Cummings. Brian Cummings. That sounds familiar.
I think it's related to Jim Cummings.
And the whole Cummings family.
So you have Lick Broccoli. I'm not going to scream into the microphone, but it's nonstop screaming and flailing around and wailing. And then Lima Bean, who's going...
He's got a twirly mustache, right?
He does. Yeah. Literally has a twirly mustache and a top hat.
So I just found a picture of Brian Cummings, and he's holding a frame of all the voices he's known for.
Mm-hmm.
And Lick Broccoli is one of the ones there.
Oh, he loved it.
He sure did. And also one of the Wuzzles.
Okay, I'm looking at the characters now. He did, of course, the beloved bee character on the Wuzzles.
Yeah.
Lick Broccoli. Papa Bear on Berenstain Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Something from a CD-ROM game? What is that butler from?
I don't know. Yeah, it does look...
Maybe something from DuckTales, maybe something from Flash Gordon, maybe something from the Lion King cartoon? I don't know.
The guy... Oh, he is not related to Jim Cummings, despite their last names. So, there you go. Oh, he was Professor Funt on Denver the Last Dinosaur.
Professor Funt? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I sure did.
Professor Funt.
Yeah, Morton Fizback and Professor Funt. Yeah.
That is like a joke we would write.
I didn't make it up. I did not make it up. It says here that he plays Dr. Mindbender, portrayed with an Alsatian accent on G.I. Joe. Yeah, Doofus Drake on DuckTales. Oh, and Sokolov in the Metal Gear Solid video games. So this guy gets around.
Hey, God bless him, right? That's what I say.
Mm-hmm. He did bless him.
Oh, he was in We Wish You a Merry Walrus.
So the California Raisins, I'm giving this a big fat. Can we say, by the way,
What?
that there's actually, by the way, if you go to the Wikipedia page, there's actually a section called The Decline. So, and when you read it, it says that the production of this cost twice the amount of money that the Raisin company brought in.
I'm sure. I can't imagine how much this animation process costs.
They said, no, we're done. This is not working.
Well, also, I mean, think about, okay, let's say California Raisins are really big. Suddenly, the children of America are asking their parents to put little raisin boxes in their lunchbox, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of two things is going to happen. One, kids are going to realize, I don't want all these raisins.
After the first two?
Did you have raisins in your house? Were you a raisin household?
We did.
Did you have like the big container?
No, we always had the little boxes.
Okay. When you got them, would you go through them? The reason I'm asking is we got like a big, like the tube, like the Sun-made like canister.
Yeah.
That lasted us for a year. We were downing fistfuls of raisins.
Yeah, no. I mean, I like raisins, I guess, but usually, gosh, you're right. I'm not eating them like I would popcorn.
I'm trying to think of when I cook with them, and
no, I don't want raisins in anything but my hand.
Oh God, here we go.
my hand. That's the only place raisins should be.
There's a lot of like Indian recipes that have raisins, and it adds a nice little bit of sweetness
what do they
to
know?
it.
What do the Indians know about food?
And I think the only other time I get them is like if I'm at a restaurant and I get like a cheese board with somebody and there's raisins, like, oh yeah, raisins, fine.
They put raisins on the cheese board?
Sometimes.
Wouldn't it be like prunes or something? I don't know.
Prunes?
I don't know.
I mean,
Look, I don't get a lot of cheese boards. Sorry. We're not a real big cheese board family here. That's actually not true. We do love a good cheese board.
See, I knew it. Well, put some raisins on there. It gives it a little sweetness. It's very cheap. If you put some more money into the cheese, you can go cheaper on the fruit.
Well, I'll tell you what. I use Munster on my cheese board, so I got plenty of room.
Have you noticed
in the budget?
Have you noticed how the energy in our voices shot back up when we started talking about cheese boards?
I will take a Munster and raisin cheese board over these two TV shows any day.
I think if you love animation and you really want to like look at the progression of animation, it would be interesting. But that's even then, there are so many other Will Vinton things you could watch that are much more interesting.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that insane Mark Twain movie he made?
Oh, I've seen clips of it. I don't remember if I watched it or not, but it is the level of detail he puts onto these things is what makes them so creepy.
Yes. There's such a thing as too much animation.
Is that, yeah.
Like they're like over gesticulating sometimes, and it makes me feel queasy. If you get a chance though,
they call that vent lash. That's pretty good, right?
It's great. You could write a third one of these. There is a full, I think it's like an hour and a half long movie about Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn and a girl who go on a trip through space on Mark Twain's Zeppelin. And they go through the universe that pass through his stories. At one point, they meet Satan.
Yeah, The Adventures of Mark Twain.
Yes. I saw the whole thing in the movie theater, and boy, what a spooky experience for a 9-year-old. It's also interminably slow.
So that you're saying they meet up with Satan?
Yes. At one scene, Satan is there, and he has a monologue to them about the nature of good and evil.
Who better?
And Satan is portrayed as like a white porcelain mask that turns into a demon. The 80s.
So, so I guess these are like taken from different works from Mark Twain.
Yes, there's like the frog jump story is in there. The Satan monologue is from something that he wrote.
The Diaries of Adam and Eve, Letters from the Earth.
There we go. Yes, that's right. There is an Adam and Eve portion.
Captain Stormfield's Visit to Heaven. The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County.
Right.
Yeah, and
the one child-friendly portion.
Yeah, and released in the United Kingdom as Comet Quest.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, come along on a wondrous journey straight to the heart of Halley's Comet. So this was like riding the Halley's Comet wave.
Oh, we couldn't stop talking about it. The Raisins and Halley's.
1986. They beat it by a year. Oh man. Yeah. This was a bust.
Yep. Okay. This sucks. Yup. This sucks. Okay. Yup.
I really wish. I'm glad we got this out of the way so that when we do the good specials, later on, we won't have to talk about these pieces of crap.
Can we? How would we have improved these? My first thing is like, do actual parodies of musical celebrities. That's so easy.
Yeah, I mean, tell the story, and have them meet up with all of these claymation, like they would in the Flintstones.
John Lemon, there, easy.
Yeah, exactly. Like just as they would on anywhere else, just change the names, have realistic versions of them.
Gord McCartney.
Nice, nice. That one. And you didn't go Paul McGortney.
Nope.
You went Gord McCartney.
Gord McCartney. Okay. Ringo Fruit.
Now that one is a winner
with 2 T's.
Mm-hmm. 2 T's. Tutti Fruity. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a writer. I have no ideas. I guess better purposes for it really was a sketch show. This is like a sketch variety show, right? It's just someone was like, let's just create these vignettes and loosely tie them together.
Well, and when you say that, you're not talking about Saturday Night Live sketch show. You're talking about like 1970s variety show.
Yeah. Where
they would like sing Froggy Went a Courtin' and Donny Osmond was dressed as a frog, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. When you watch those shows and you realize how popular they were,
it's insane. Don't
you look down at your doesn't it make you disrespect your parents?
It really like the 70s of television is such a time of like, you could just do anything apparently. And people loved it.
There's this TV channel called Decades or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And they were playing Laugh-In or something, or the Smothers Brothers or something. I don't even know what it was. It was, and I like them. I like some, most of it was like the sketches were like a second long, and it was because they wanted to just, like, I've heard of trash bags, but this is ridiculous.
Yes.
And then it would go to the next sketch.
Very hip. Well, and a lot of Laugh-In is like they're in the big flower windows or something.
Yeah.
And they're literally doing knock-knock jokes. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? And then like adults are laughing at it. Everyone was high. That had to be it.
Honey, I'm home from my long day at the plastic factory. I've been making plastic.
Mining plastic all day.
For 10 hours. I just want to laugh. Put on some laughing. Yeah.
What has 4 wheels and flies? And Goldie Hawn comes out in a bikini and dances around.
And that is the joke. That's the punchline. Oh, man. Okay, well, I think we
took him to task.
I think we really nailed the raisins this time.
Good luck getting off the wall from where we nailed you.
Mm-hmm.
Stretch.
Mm-hmm. And red.
Do we have a favorite raisin? Did you enjoy any of the raisins more than the other?
No, I
yeah, me neither. Bye.
That is what it was like. They literally like so. There was no personality. None of them had an individual personality.
No, even on the second pass, which is much more of a traditional kids cartoon, they're at a height. Uh-oh. Something went comically bad. Now we're low. Now we're good again. And all the characters are played by voice actors. So it has that kind of like voice actory energy to it.
I don't know why
that seemed bland.
Yeah, I don't know why they hired 3 other people.
I mean, the energy level is very low on that first one, which makes it kind of interesting. I don't know if it makes it entertaining, but it at least is different.
You know what is interesting though? I'm looking at a bunch of pictures. It looks like for the commercials, all of the raisins pretty much look identical.
Yeah, one has sunglasses. That's about it.
But on the TV show,
right?
Or they're actually different. Some are thin. One's got a pompadour. One has a mohawk. It looks like.
Well, you have to. You can't have 4 totally identical characters.
To sum up, the raisins. No, thank you. I'd rather have grapes.
Can I tell you what my current relationship with the California Raisins is?
Mm-hmm. I want you to.
Besides memories of my Sunday school, 3 of the leaders put trash bags and sunglasses on and danced to Heard It Through the Grapevine, and they were supposed to be raisins. But current day, on Craigslist, if you go on Craigslist, there are some people who just repost the same garbage every single week without selling it. And there is a woman who has been selling the same California Raisins collection. Nathan, this is not an exaggeration. Over 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
I'll send you the post because I'm positive she's still posting it. Her username is Raisin Lady. And she says, check out my other items. Raisin Lady sells 2 things. She sells California Raisins merchandise and Nazi memorabilia.
Wow.
That's Raisin Lady.
Wow.
All right. Bye.